The more my different businesses grow, the more I rely on great, reliable tools for managing information, particularly for managing my time. And the best of these tools that I found available is actually Google Calendar, which is entirely free if you have any kind of Google account at all, a Gmail account, or you can just set up a Google account at google.com and you get free access to Google Calendars. Now, why is Google Calendar so fantastic? I used to use the calendars built into Microsoft Outlook, but I found that they were quite limited in comparison with Google Calendar, and I especially ran into this limitation when I wanted to be able to integrate third-party software like a website booking system or video conference scheduling directly into the calendar. Outlook didn't really offer the capabilities I was looking for. So let's have a quick look at what makes Google Calendar so great. And then what I'm going to do is do a follow-on series of videos about how to use that greatness in various specific areas of your business, like online bookings through your website, like video conference scheduling, shared calendars, integrating calendars from different sources so that you get all of your time management in one place. So the greatest features of Google Calendar, I really like. It's got a fantastic browser-based application here. You can see I can navigate around quite easily across the different days. I've got the ability to change my views between week and month and year views. I've got a lot of different capabilities. Right now I'm using the mouse wheel to scroll month by month. I have not even used many of these days. Let's have a look at the schedule view, which offers a much more linear list of events. Mostly I just use the week view, and it looks like you've got hotkeys for switching back and forth between these as well now. Now you can see one of the things you'll probably notice first is that the events are color-coded. Now those color codings are actually representative of which calendar each of those events is on. On this left side here, you can see one of the best features of Google Calendars is that it has the ability to have your events separated into groups defined as different calendars, and each of these calendars can be color specified. I can choose a calendar. I can say I want this color on it, or I want that color on it. Let's change the color of this one. So all the events tied to that would then change to that color. I can choose what I want to show and what I don't want to show. So I can turn on and off different types of events. I can link in calendars from third-party websites. For example, I use meetup.com a lot to manage various groups, business groups, social groups, self-development groups, performing arts groups that I run. And I can keep all of their calendar events in here so that whenever I schedule something there, it automatically appears on my calendar against all of my other things. I also have the ability to tie in third-party types of applications, like this is called Calendly. Calendly is a booking system, and it allows people to come and book coaching time with me, and they can see immediately, based on my Google Calendar, where I have available time. And I've had a lot of options I can configure here, but it allows me to specify exactly what and where and when I am available to meet, which is really fantastic because when they schedule a time, it then immediately appears blocked out on my calendar. You can see one such booking here, and as a very, very helpful and useful way for me to manage my time and to give other people the ability to book meetings with me. Now that, in my case, that is particularly necessary because a lot of the people that I work with, for example, when I do coaching or when I do consulting work, are in different time zones. So with a tool like Calendly, they can book in their own time zone, but they can see my availability relative to my time zone, and there's no confusion and no problems negotiating and doing time zone math adjustment calculations, or even things like daylight savings. It's all automatically accounted for, which makes my life a million times more efficient. You can also see here in Google Calendar, I have actually configured this to show 2 different time zones. This is the one that I'm currently in, and this is Chicago, actually, where I have a couple of large clients that I do quite a business with, and often I need to schedule meetings with them over the phone. So this lets me see their time, and it lets me see my time, and I can book much more efficiently that way. So like any good calendaring system, Google Calendar also offers the ability to do recurring events. You can have quite a few different types of patterns for recurring events, like the first Thursday of every month. You can adjust an individual instance of a recurring event, cancel this one, or move the time and date of this one without affecting the others. It's very well thought out, very well designed, as you'd expect from Google. And if you are a developer or a business with developers, your development team can also use the Google Calendar API, connect into its iCal or RSS feeds to add all sorts of additional capabilities. For example, one of my businesses is actually a Japanese drumming team, which has a separate system for managing and tracking our performances. Those performances end up on a couple of different special calendars, but there is also an iCal feed generated, which means that I can see here exactly what events we have coming up. I don't end up double booking things, which is really, really beautiful. And one of the best features here as well, this ability to add in external third-party calendars. You can see I've got my Facebook events, just the Facebook events that I have decided I'm interested in. Those appear on my calendar. I have my meetup.com RSS feeds for each of those I'm adding in. I have my own custom iCal RSS feeds. I have all these individual calendars I've created. I've also got shared calendars, which allow me to control what the other people involved in administrating that calendar have permission to do. Some people may be able to create events, delete events, move events. Other people may only be able to view that calendar, which makes it so much easier when you're running an organization or part of an organization where you can track and negotiate these types of events against your calendars. It's very, very powerful and very, very helpful. If you are not using Google Calendar, and if you have a need for a strong and convenient calendaring solution, I cannot recommend anything better. Since I've begun using it, not only is it far easier to manage my time and schedule, but everything is immediately with me because the Google Calendar mobile application, which I'm currently using on an iPhone, but is also available, of course, for Android, is an excellent application. I can schedule new events on the fly. When I'm out at a meeting, I can immediately see what my calendar is, and quite brilliantly, if I just tilt the phone sideways into landscape mode, it immediately switches to a week view, which allows me to see what's coming up just with the tilt of a phone. Again, brilliantly designed piece of software, highly recommend it, and I'll get into some more detail on how to do this kind of third-party calendar linking and how to basically make your Google Calendar the center of your time management universe. Stay tuned.